if you have ever edited and if you have ever mixed sound or any music, you would have heard of Avid because we make Media Composer, we make Pro Tools, professional software, but that individual creatives use.
What have you got that's new at NAB?
So multiple things, but I think the best thing I should talk about is our use of AI and how that's going to help the individual creatives just achieve more creativity, but also being more efficient than they've ever been.
Well, there's a lot of concern about AI, where it's going to start to make the decisions for editors and editors don't become necessary. What's your feeling on the impact of AI and its future with media?
So the concerns are absolutely real, and we have the same concerns, but we have a framework how to address that. We actually came up with something called the responsible AI position, and the responsible AI position puts the burden on us as well to make sure the way we are exposing AI is helping the creatives rather than taking anything away from them. And creatives are fundamentally the ones with the wisdom of creativity. AI can have some level of knowledge, but will not gain the wisdom. So a lot of the tactics that we're using to expose some of the functionality is in the form of a digital assistant. So we actually literally branded it Avid Ada as a digital assistant. So anything that, so it's in the form of recommendations, but the human makes the decision. It's the creative who makes the final decision what they want to use. So it's speeding up their workflow, helping them being more creative rather than be concerned or take away any jobs.
Give me a specific example of how one of these new tools could be used.
Sure. Just as an example, in Media Composer, you have dialogue tracks. And any dialogue that you're listening to, you might have done a documentary or you want to publish on social media, you typically have to sit there listening to the whole dialogue just to see what it is. One of the technologies that we introduced was speech to text. How does that help you? That's a technology. What's its use case? You can take that dialogue, you can summarize it, you can translate it. So the translation part, and with time code association, who's speaking, you get all that information right up front versus having to sit and listen through the whole thing. So these are some of the features we're also showing. Some of this is shipping in the product. In Media Composer, you can generate speech to text, but we're also showing how now you can use that create the summary, and just make you much more efficient in the jobs that you're doing.
One of your challenges, I suspect, is taking a look at the future and trying to figure out where the future is going to develop the products for it. What trends are you following that we should pay attention to?
So first of all, again, it relates to AI, but that's a definite trend. But there's another important part. The creator, how they express themselves. In our tools, when we make our tools, we need to provide them methods that we can understand the creative better. And I'll give you an example. People are familiar with ChatGPT, right? They can just converse in any language and basically say, ask questions of ChatGPT. What we are showing and what we're tracking to is, how about a natural language interface that allows you to just inquire, not just about the general world, but the content that you're working with. And so we have some prototypes already that we're showing where you can inquire, where are the funny moments? What's happening here? Give me a summary of what's going on. But you're analyzing, you're actually interacting with the application and the content by making these type of natural language inquiries. But here's the important part. You can just ask what it is, but you also want to say, can you just create a quick, I just want to see it. Now, what you just asked the system to do is not just ask about the content, but you ask it to see it. What is that? So that means it understood that, oh, you want a quick preview on the timeline, you just want to see it in the viewer. So that's where us technologists come in. We understand those prompts, whether you wrote it in English, French, my language, Hindi, and then create the content, just have it come up as an action. So this is an example of how we believe that going forward, the human interface, the human computer interface is actually going to be changing to this natural language facility. I typed some of the stuff in Hindi recently for one of the demonstrations I was giving. I was the happiest person there because it understood Hindi.
For people that haven't heard of Avid or that haven't used your products, what are the important things for them to remember?
The important thing is that Avid makes products definitely for the professionals, but what that does to us is that it allows a lot of the professional-like tools be available to all the individual creatives. So what's used in filmmaking are the tools that are also available for just individual creatives, whether you're creating social media content. So it's inspired by professionals, but really for individual creatives.